Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to take a look at the TCG and the current developments there, as I have made a video a few weeks ago concerning the OCG and the state of the OCG metagame. We had a big YCS event, which, if you do not know, YCS are the biggest events in the TCG. This was also a team YCS, meaning that there were teams of three fighting against other teams of three, and whoever won the best of three in the sense of the complete team then won the duel. And I think it's always interesting to look into our future within the OCG and the TCG, even though these formats are a bit different. But let's just hop right in. Some of these decks you might know, some of these you might not know, but we will take a look. So you can see with 29%, Kashtira is 14 decks most represented right now in the TCG. This deck has gone through a lot of ban list hits, but will probably get even more in the next ban list to come in possibly a few weeks. So still a strong deck. This will be a strong deck in Master Duel. Interestingly enough, this was not that strong in the OCG, because the OCG pretty early was hitting this deck. Maybe we will also experience some hits, and then Kashtira will not be such a big thing in Master Duel. Not quite sure, but I guess we can expect this deck to be one of the tops, could even be the best deck in the game. Then we have Unchained, which this is quite interesting. This has just recently got new support, and you can see, you might know some of the cards. As you can see, all the cards that have a rarity here we are still or already have in the game, and then these three cards are the new ones, which basically made the deck way stronger, which this is cool. We will get this in the future. There's only one ultra rare. Probably these will be ultra rares, or at least some of them. You need one of the blue dog, as it's called, three of the red dog, and then three Unchained Soul of Yama. And this deck, we can quickly go to a deck list just to explain to you what it wants to do. So first place was made by Pakavat Parmoansut, so by Pak, which is also a YouTuber with TCG content. So the basic idea of this deck, and you might know this already, is to destroy your own cards and therefore profit. So by destroying, for example, the traps, you can special summon another Unchained monster, and a lot of these Unchained monsters also have the effect to destroy something else, but then also, if they get destroyed, can special summon something. So you're going to plus, and the end board that in the TCG people are currently ending on is the Nightmare Griffin. If you do not know this card here, then it basically, you want to place this Link 4 card in your main monster zone, and this has the effect that every special summon monster cannot activate their effects. They can only activate the effect if something points directly to the Griffin. That's why you want to place it in the main monster zone, so your opponent cannot use the extra monster zone to point to your Griffin. So this says basically your special summon monsters or your opponent's special summon monsters does not have an effect. Then you also have cards like, for example, the blue big dog Unchained Soul of Rage, which is an IP Masquerina, basically an IP Masquerina that works with your opponent's cards, but you can only go into fiend monsters. That's why you have something like the unicorn in here to make unicorn with this Unchained Soul of Rage and an opponent's monster, and then have also unicorn spin back. This is a grindy deck. This is a deck that wants to get advantage over time. Can play well going first, can play well going second. So we can see Unchained here, very popular right now. Not a lot of people have seen this coming, but as I already said, we will also get this support in the future. Then we have Purrely, 10% here, 5 Purrely decks. I have talked about this, really strong deck. Then there is Chimera, which is branded Chimera, which are new fusion archetypes with the new type Illusionist that works together with the branded archetype. We will take a look at this in a moment. Then we have Dragonlink, we know this already. We have Labyrinth, we also have this which we also have, and Vanquish Soul. I'm not even sure if we have the Vanquish Soul deck list here if I scroll down, but I will show you the deck in short in a Master Duel meta. But let's just start here with the winner. Is the winner? Oh no, it's top 8 team. Okay, so Kashtira, I think also won the YCS. They don't have every list here. Okay, I'm not quite sure if the winning team had a Kashtira player. The winning team had an Unchained player and a Purrely player, that I know for sure. So Kashtira, you can take a look at the deck. This is what it's looking like in TCG right now, with 2 unicorns. We have 2 Fenriers, and we also will have to see what else will get a hit when it comes to Master Duel. They only have 1 Arisard, which that is quite big. If you have made this 1 Arisard, then after that it's quite hard to establish another really strong board, because if this card is gone, then it's gone. We can expect this field spell here to maybe be at 1, like it always is with us in Master Duel, but yeah, nothing too special here. A lot of books, because books books are quite nice against Kashtira. That's why a lot of people are playing the book. A lot of decks you will see it. And here is the anti-book tag, the Forbidden Lands, which basically says the monster you target with the Forbidden Lands cannot be affected by spells or traps. That is only to protect, for example, your Orisad from being booked, because if it's booked, then obviously can no longer use its effect and has no longer the shifter effect. So if you don't know this already, this card on the field will make a permanent shifter effect like a skill drain, where every card will get banished. And you also play shifter, of course, because shifter is a big problem for a lot of decks. Just a strong card, you will play 2 shifters, or you're already playing 2 shifters in Master Duel in Kashtira as well, and you will continue to do so in the future. Then we have a first place team. Okay, this Ruben was also on the first place team and played Dragonlink. You can see Dragonlink here, nothing too special. We have basically the same list in Master Duel. The one card that we do not have at the current moment is the Bestial Desparter, which can send or shuffle one of your banished cards or your opponent's banished cards back into the deck. And as a quick effect, and if you have shuffled your opponent's card back into his deck, then you can negate a monster. If you have shuffled your own card back into your deck, then you can destroy a monster. This also has the ability to special summon one of your banished monsters back to the field. I think this is a card we will get in the near future. Off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure in which expansion this was. I think this was part of Photon Hypernova, which means this could come at any moment, like Chaos Angel did. But yeah, nothing too special here. We know the Dragonlink archetype already, and then we have a Labyrinth here, which we already also have in the game. And the interesting thing is that you can see some people choose to play the Labyrinth together with the Unchained deck, which makes sense because all of them are fiends. The interesting thing is that there are only 2 Unchained cards in the main deck, the Shivara and then one of the, I think it's Cage of the Unchained or something. So you can use the Shivara to pop this, and then you can summon another, I think, Fiend or Unchained monster from the deck. And you have these extra deck monsters that you can obviously also make with stuff like your Ariana or your Chandragir or your Stovi-Torbi, and then have additional interruption effects that you would not have if you would only play Labyrinth. Of course, you can have your traps and then an additional Soul of Rage, which allows you this IP Masquerena on your opponent's turn kind of effect. Then we have Unchained, already talked about this. The list that Pack run here didn't run a lot of hand traps, notably. You also have this DD contract thing, which allows you to search this thing, this DD monster, which I'm not quite sure what the name is, but summoning this allows you to go into the Deus Ex Machina, and Deus Ex Machina is kind of funny because he also has the effect to destroy a card on the field and then, I think, shuffle one of the DD contracts back into the deck from the graveyard. So you can use this to destroy your traps or your Unchained monsters, which then triggers their effect to special summon more monsters, gaining you more advantage. And obviously there's also the side deck, because best of 3, we are always playing best of 3 in the TCG. You can see the side deck here. A cool card to come, hopefully, is the Daruma Karma Cannon that you can see on the bottom here. This is a cool card for Labyrinth as well. This is a trap card, which basically has the effect to flip everything face down, same as the Book of Eclipse, which also flips everything face down, but this has the bonus effect that link monsters that cannot be flipped down and will not be flipped down from the Book of Eclipse will just be destroyed. So in that term, it's even stronger, and it doesn't give your opponent 1 card for each flipped up again monster. If you do not know the Book of Eclipse, you can flip down every monster on the field that can be flipped down, and then your opponent will, in the end phase, flip everything up that he can, and then draw 1 card for each monster that he has flipped up again. So this is a board breaker, and you can see there is once again 6 books. It's so funny that Book of Moon, such an old card, is still in the meta, but yeah, that's funny. Then we have Purrely here, and we will get this tomorrow. I'm pretty excited to see what this will end up being, or how they will release Purrely. You can once again see the Book of Eclipse here. Nibiru is quite relevant in the format right now, and you can see this also has the Fenrir in it. Makes sense because for all your Purrely quick-wear spells you need to discard, and you can discard your additional Fenrir, so special summon Fenrir, search another Fenrir, which you can't use this turn, and then you can use it as discard material. And as you can see right here, the Delicious Memory is at 1, which made the deck very weak in the beginning when the deck did not have access to the Purrely Noir down here. But then Purrely Noir came, and now you can make your really nice first turn Sleepy Memory turn, which I will talk about this tomorrow, possibly depending on which cards we will get. But yeah, quite interesting here. You can see they have Crossout Designator at 3, which this is quite nice. Branded Despia would love to have crossout at 3 in our format, but yeah, it is what it is. We have it at 1. And then there is a Chimera, branded Chimera. So I have to say I'm not super familiar with the deck because I do not really like the archetype when it comes to the art. But the thing is that you can search with all these guys here, the Illusionist Chimera cards. You can search Chimera Fusion, which gives you pretty easy access to your Guardian Chimera. This is also a quick play spell that you can activate on your opponent's turn. And then there's also, we can take a look at this guy. I'm learning with you guys. So we are typing Chimera. Let's see if we can find this. This guy here, this is the one that you make on the first turn. This card names is always Chimera, the flying mythical beast, like this one here. And then you can only use each effect of the following once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can activate this effect, send one random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard during the end phase of this turn. Oh, that's quite nice already. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one beast, fiend, or illusion monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So it sounds quite nice. This is something you will end up with on your end board, and these cards basically search each other and search the Chimera Fusion. This also with the new cards here. And then, yeah, make some fusion summon boards, I guess. As I already said, not too familiar with this because I really dislike the art style of this archetype. And then we also have Rescue Ace. I think this is the last list here. Yeah, Rescue Ace. Let's hop right in there. This isn't even on a list of the representation because there was only one Rescue Ace, which was expected to be a way stronger deck, I think. Interesting that there weren't a lot of Rescue Ace players in the top cut. I've talked about this, and we will get this deck in October, though we will probably only get the first wave. Second wave being, correct me if I'm wrong here, the Preventer, the Emergency. I think Preventer and Emergency were second wave. And unfortunately, first wave Rescue Ace was not really anything too special. Nobody was playing it, so as also in the OCG. And the OCG, the first wave, was also not relevant. So if we only get first wave, we can expect the deck to at first be like not relevant, not being played. So waiting for the second wave, which I already talked about in the Purrely video. I hope this does not happen because it's so annoying that they basically release unfinished archetypes in a pack, and it ends up being so that with a new pack we can't really play any new deck. I hope this will not be the thing that happens tomorrow with the Purrely cards. I am totally fine with a second wave come the Purrely cards, but please, Konami, at least give us the Purrely. We can work without the Sleepy if it has to be that. Give us the Sleepy and then Ra later, but give us a Lily. Otherwise, otherwise we only have to draw from the pack and then just sit on the cards. Same with Kashtira, basically. Yeah, this is the TCG meta, at least in terms of Sao Paulo right now. There are some tournaments coming up. This site also shows them here. YCS Vancouver, YCS Cancun, and Dortmund here in Germany over the next 3 weekends. So that will be very interesting to see how the meta develops. I personally am a super fan at looking at these cards. Oh, Vanquish Soul was something I quickly wanted to show you. Let's do this if you have not seen the cards. Yeah, these are the Vanquish Soul cards, not the first two there, but these ones. The Vanquish Soul cards, this has still to get the second wave of support. I think also in the OCG. In the OCG, this wave isn't there at this moment, if I'm not mistaken here. But the idea of this deck is basically that you can, same as in a video game, in a fighting video game, you can send in your different monsters and then have to send another monster out. So you can quick effect, return one monster to your hand and then summon another one, and then they have effects. For example, if this... let me read it so I don't tell you the wrong thing. You can activate one of these effects by revealing, you can reveal other types in your hand. So if you reveal a fire monster, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. And if you reveal a fire and dark, then you destroy all monsters in this card's column. So they have these column effects, same like Magnite, you could say. And these reveal effects. And it's so really funny because, for example, this card, Vanquish Soul Continue, Fragezeichen, or question mark, not Fragezeichen, this is German, obviously. So it's like in a video game where after you have lost, the game asks you, do you want to continue? And then you have to click yes, and then it goes on, so to say. Stake your soul. Vanquish Soul, Caesar Valius, and the Heavy Borger being the main boss monsters. And you have a cool link 1, Rock of the Vanquisher, which can resummon your Vanquish Souls either from the hand or add something from the grave to your hand, which this is quite nice, and this will also come to us in the near future. So yeah, that's it. The Unchained cards here, the Unchained support is still a bit off, same as with the Chimera support. This will come pretty late. We are not close to that. We will get Kashtira first, Purrely, Rescue Ace cards, and then Vanquish Soul, and then we can expect the support for Unchained or Chimera. But you never know with Konami. Sometimes they just release new support cards even though it isn't their time, so to say. But yeah, this is the breakdown according to the Team YCS Sao Paulo. I hope you liked it. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up and notification bell, and we will see each other tonight with the next video.